Hello, Happy New Year. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Brenda Price. I am the Associate State Director at AARP Michigan. I really appreciate you joining us today. We have a wonderful program. You know, it's the start of the year, and people start thinking about what am I going to do next, career wise, work wise, business wise. Maybe you've been thinking about starting a business or starting a new job or returning to work. We have great information for you today. Our topic is jobs versus entrepreneurship at age 50 plus. As you've heard all over the news, people are rethinking what they're doing as a result of being at home for the past couple of years. It gives you an opportunity to think and plan. AARP has a lot of resources for older workers to learn more about job opportunities in your particular state. Even if you are not in Michigan, you can plug in your state and find resources, contacts, organizations that are supporting older workers to return to work or change careers or start a business. So we are going to do that today. But first, some housekeeping. We are live on Facebook. We want you to interact with us. We have great guests. We want you to ask questions, make comments, and you can do that in the comment section on Facebook. And we will retrieve that information and address your questions later in the program. So please get your notepads out, your iPads out, whatever it is you do to take note, because we want you to get a lot of information that you can use today, tomorrow, and in the future. We will be sharing with you links to various sites where you can continue to get information on jobs or entrepreneurship opportunities. So now you know what to do. Put your comments and your questions in the Facebook post. And we're going to move on. I'm going to introduce our speakers today so that you can get an idea of who will be joining us and get your questions ready. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining us. We look forward to the information that you are going to share with us. So I'm going to go around to each one of you, introduce yourselves, tell us who you are, what you do, what your organization is. Let's start with Ms.
Hi, my name is Elvira Chicks. I'm the project director for AARP Foundation CSEP in the Detroit office.
Mary, Ms. Dr. McDougall.
I'm Mary McDougall. I'm the Division Director of Operation ABLE of Michigan. We are a division of Spectrum Human Services now. We've been around in the community since 1986.
Ms. Simmons.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Angelique Simmons, and I serve as the project director of the Urban Seniors Jobs Program, which is actually also a CSEP program. We're just under the umbrella of the National Urban League.
And Ms. Hewlett.
Good morning. My name is Joan Hewlett, and I'm the project director for the AARP project site that's based in Southgate, and we cover 4 counties here. And it is also an SCSCP program.
Great, great. Ladies, we look forward to hearing from you shortly. We're going to cover a few information about AARP programs, and we'll bring you back on screen. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, what is your next move as you think about, am I going to get a new job, change jobs, or do I want to start a business? Thinking about your next move requires some planning. So let's look at jobs and what employment opportunities look like. At AARP, we are a resource for information for older workers. If you go to our webpage, jobs.aarp.org, you will see a lot of information that will tell you about staffing firms and recruiters that are looking for older workers. Why are they looking? Because as you've heard on the news, there is a shortage of workers. You have experience. Come back and join the club. So Recruiters and firms are looking for people with experience, and some organizations are just looking for people to train, to adapt the experiences that they have to a new opportunity. So don't be shy, just step out there. You also want to reach out to your network, your own personal friends, faith members, sororities, fraternities, any organization that you network with. Say, I'm looking for an opportunity. Do you know of any? You will be surprised what people know. Companies with retraining programs are also interested in returning workers. Their job ads online, their various links and sites that specifically have detailed job information, their workplace review sites. Now that's very interesting because you can find out what type of an environment and a culture that an organization has today. So you might want to do a little digging to find out, is this the right place for me? And if you get an opportunity to have an interview, you can ask, what is the culture like here for older workers? It's not an odd question. It's not a bad question. AARP Job Board is full of information about job opportunities. And again, you can search by using your state. So you can get direct information about what is going on in your backyard regarding employment opportunities. Take down that website, jobs.aarp.org. Now we're going to look at entrepreneur resources that AARP has for older workers, also on our webpage. We have a partnership with Public-Private Strategies, and that partnership is a deep dive on a lot of information that can be helpful to you if you're considering starting a business, or if you have a business and you want to know how to manage your business, all of what is very important, and growing your business. Some of us may have startup businesses. Some of us may have more advanced businesses. Some might be turning a hobby into a business. So this is a great place to start, to visit. We are a resource. We consider ourselves a friend, and we want to provide you with accurate information, and you can find it here. Now we're going to bring up our first speakers from the Senior Community Service Employment Program. It is a program that is under the umbrella of the AARP Foundation, and we have two representatives here that are working in two different geographies in the state of Michigan. But this program is also across the state and in various other communities. I'm going to let them begin to tell you about the body of work that they do happily every day.
Hello. CSEP is a Senior Community Service Employment Program. And to qualify for the program, you must be at least 55 years of age or older, unemployed, and meet certain low-income guidelines. You must be able to work physically, interested in updating your skills and returning to gainful employment. One of our qualifications, you must register with Michigan Works, must be actively looking for work, and reside in our area.
Alberia, what I'd like to go on from there, if I might, is to add that one of the things that we do with our program is many of our people come from different backgrounds, and they've been out of the workforce for a while, whether they had family care or taking care of grandchildren or illness. And so what we do is we take a look at what their skill set is and what they're looking for to either brush up on skills or learn new opportunities and skills. Some of the agencies that we do work with will provide opportunities for people to get into doing data entry, clerical, daycare aid, working in classrooms with children, nutrition sites, administrative support positions, and maintenance. The gamut is there, and if someone has an interest, we'll try to find them a spot where they can do that training for our program. Great. Did you have anything to add to that?
Oh, yeah. The participants must be willing to work at least to train, we should say, on at least 18 to 20 hours per week. And we pay them on the scale of the state's minimum, the federal minimum budget. For our state is $9.87. And we offer different supportive services to them as well, which if they need in need of clothing, referral for housing, referrals for food, and medical, things of that nature.
Exactly. I was going to go one step further and give an idea of some of the places where individuals will be placed to do their 18 to 20 hours while they're on the program, depending on where they live and what they're interested in trying to do, either brush up on skills or try something completely brand new. We have made partnerships with what we call host agencies, and they're nonprofit organizations or government offices. And we might have people working in any, for instance, community centers, senior centers, city halls, police departments, schools, Goodwill, Habitat for Humanity is a good one. The Accounting Aid and Focus Hope, for those who are familiar with the area here. Counseling programs. I mean, the job is endless, and the list goes on and on depending on what community someone might be in.
Wow, that sounds wonderful. Can you repeat, Ms. Cheeks, some of those wraparound services it sounds like you offer to help a person to get their footing in returning to work?
Oh, yes, because some of our participants, we call them participants, are homeless. So we try to refer them to different agencies for them to have the opportunity to get housing, different supportive services like food, clothing. We refer them to MRS, which is Michigan Rehabilitative Services, which we co-partner with them, and they help them in various opportunities too, even computer classes.
Well, my screen may have frozen a little bit here.
Oh.
Okay, great. I can see you moving now.
Okay.
All right. Well, that's wonderful. Those services are important. And so I wanted you to, repeat them so that some people could hear them. They might be taking notes. At the end, we will have the contact information for this program and these ladies so that you can get in contact with them. But I do have just a few questions. Are there any special criteria to participate? Age, income, geography. You may have said some of that, but if you could repeat that.
You want to talk about it, Joan, or would you like me?
Sure. Anyone can apply for the program who is 55 years of age and over. There's no top level. We've had people in their 80s and 90s on this program. And if they live in a service area that we service, we'll handle their applications. So 55 and up, they need to meet low income guidelines, be looking for employment, and be currently unemployed. And like I said, in our service area, if they call and they're not in our service area, we'd be more than happy to give them the contact number where they need to call to get the same services, but with maybe a different organization or office.
And this is a national program for the AARP Foundation, so it can be found in multiple states.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Great. Well, that was a great overview. I really appreciate it. It sounds like you all love your job. So quickly tell me, what is it that you just really love about the opportunities that you get to work in this space?
For me, it's heartfelt in servicing people who's less fortunate and be able to take them from one place to another. Even if they don't find a job, if I can help them to get a high school diploma or either send them to the community college, I feel good about myself. If I can help them to even get food and clothing and housing, it makes me feel good.
Wonderful.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's just really exciting when you have someone who's really feeling like they're at their last spot to get some help, and we can make it different for them and make their world a better place. And some people go very small steps at a time, and others take it and run and don't stay very long. But while they were here, it made a difference for them to move along that quickly,
Great.
whether they were getting a job or starting their own business.
That's fabulous. Ladies, you will be on again to answer more questions. Audience, if you have questions for these ladies about their program activities, please put them in the comments section, and we will address them shortly.
Thank you.
Thank you. And next, we're going to have joining us the Executive Director of Operation ABLE, the Center for Working Families. Welcome, Dr. Mary McDougall. How are you?
I'm great, Brenda. Thank you for having me and for the opportunity to talk a little bit about our program. Operation ABLE is essentially a workforce program, but we do recognize that people who are unemployed and looking for employment often need some other services as well. They may need, as was described with the CSEP programs, they might need housing, they might need access to getting utilities paid, they might need help in just sort of stabilizing their lives as they get back into the workforce. And actually, the goal of our program is to improve the financial stability of the people who join as members of our Center for Working Families. We do this in a lot of different ways. We provide services that start with helping people identify what kind of work they'd like to do or what kind of business they'd like to start. We help them really look at their skills, because sometimes when people have been out of the workforce or have thought they wanted to be retired and then find that, well, maybe retirement isn't exactly what they were looking for, they aren't sure whether they want to keep doing what they used to do or do they want something totally new. And so we help them kind of assess where they are, what their needs are financially and family-wise and in all different areas. And then we help them move in that direction. We coach them to get a new job. So we do help with resumes, help with interviewing. Right now, one of the things that we find is a really problem is the digital divide. A lot of people who've been out of the workforce don't feel like they're competitive in terms of computer training. And so we are in the process of setting up a digital learning center where people will be able to really enhance their computer skills. And we do some of that already. We do have an entrepreneurship exploration program, which helps people determine whether they have the right plan in place. And if so, how can we help them with that? And at least explore whether that should be an option they should try. So we're here to help them meet their needs. You can see on the screen some of the services that we provide. Probably the one that people expect the most from us is placement. And that's our goal too, is to help people get into the right job, a job that they're going to be able to enjoy, a job with a future. And so we're here to help them in all those areas. And we also try to do some counseling with people who maybe had a bad experience in the workplace and want to make sure they don't repeat that or they don't get into that same kind of setting again. So it all depends on what the needs of the person who comes to us are as to where we start and what services we provide.
Wow, that's wonderful. Dr. McDougall, are your trainings online, in person, in Detroit, across the state? Give us an idea.
Well, right now we're doing most of our classes virtually. We are doing, but we hope that starting in February, we'll be able to go back to more face-to-face. But we intend to keep a blend where people will be able to attend most of our classes virtually as well. And we do some training on site, but the other thing we try to do is be really aware of what's going on that people might want to get involved with, say through a different Michigan Works agency, apprenticeships. Right now, my message to people is there has never been a time when there are more jobs and more training opportunities than in the 35 years I've been in this business. And it isn't going to last forever. So we really encourage people to really take advantage of these times and get themselves, situated in something that is going to really help them feel better about how they're using their time and their talent.
Okay. Can you share with us the Center for Working Families and maybe some other locations around the country, or how people can link into other locations?
Yes, we are one of, I believe there's now 10 centers for working families in the Detroit area. They include places like Focus Hope and Goodwill and Access and a number of others. And really, what the difference between a Center for Working Family and other workforce programs that are not are that they do focus a lot on financial coaching and helping people get financially stable. And so, but there are centers all over the country, and if they can Google Centers for Working Families, or Financial Opportunity Center is the word they use in a lot of other parts of the country for this.
Great. So you can Google Financial Opportunity Center or Center for Working Families to find a location in a state near you.
Yes.
Yes, it's a well-established program. I've been familiar with it for, I would say, over 10 years now.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
And so it has been around, and it has good results. So thank you, Dr. McDougall. But you need to tell us what you enjoy about doing this work. You've been in it a long time. You got a lot of experience, and you've changed careers in your time.
Right. I was thinking about this entrepreneurship versus jobs. And when I started out with Operation Able, I was also doing a consulting business, and I thought I need something to kind of pay a few of the bills. And so I'll get a part-time job, and I need some experience with older adults. So I saw a job at a new organization called Project Able that was starting up, and I thought I'll go there for a couple years. That was in 1986. And so here I am 36 years later, working full-time at Operation Able. So one of the messages I would say to people is be open to opportunities. You may think you're going in one direction, but when you hear about something else that sounds good, go for it. Give yourself a chance, because there's so many new things out there now. And it's never too late to start doing something else. Or to try something new, because one thing about a job, you're not making a life commitment. If you find it's not the right decision, then you can change. So
that's great advice. That's great advice. So one quick question: the people that are coming to you to start launching entrepreneur opportunities, what can you give us an example of what some of those are? From very basic to maybe even in advance, because people are turning hobbies into businesses.
Right. That's one of the big things we see. People might have been artistic, and they've really never developed that talent, but they have things that they can turn it into a full-time career, or at least a part-time career. People making jewelry is one thing, but because we've done a lot in the culinary and hospitality field, we find a lot of people who have a food product that they want to market, or they want to start a catering business, or get a food truck, or things in that nature. Or sometimes it's just a matter of doing what they were doing in a self-employed capacity, where they're starting their own business doing as an electrician, or something that they have experience doing. So it really covers the gamut. And our entrepreneurship program is primarily to help people explore what their options are, and then get them directed into something that is a more structured and advanced entrepreneurship program.
That's wonderful. That the key word there was explore. I use the word discover. I think we have to put a little bit more time into exploring and discovering all of the opportunities that are out there. And then, as you said, the time is now, because this window is open where jobs are available, new businesses are coming online. it can be a great time right now.
And people don't have to do one or the other. They can get a job and start a business at the same time. And usually, if you're starting a business, you have to work too. So,
Yes, yes. Well, thank you, Dr. McDougall. We really appreciate you having you. You've been supporting us with your job program information for the last couple of years. And I know you've been on that corner on Woodward and Warren for some time, just working very hard to support the community right down the street from our previous guest, Miss Cheeks.
right.
We're going to move on now. Thank you very much. We're going to bring up another guest speaker that we have. Miss Simmons, how are you?
I am well. How are you?
Oh, great, great. Please tell us a little bit about the work that you're doing in the Urban Seniors Program.
Absolutely. The Urban Seniors Jobs Program is actually just like the Senior Community Service Employment Program, the CSEP program. The only difference between our program and the program that you heard described by Ms. Cheeks and her colleague is that we are under the grantee, the National Urban League, and our name is just a branding, type effort. And so other than that, our program is exactly the same as theirs.
Yes. Is this program offered at urban leagues around the country?
They're not offered at every Urban League affiliate, but they are offered at 7 other affiliates. So there are 7 other affiliates in other states that offer this program through the grant that the National Urban League has acquired, including Michigan. We have New York, we have Pennsylvania, we have Louisville, Kentucky, we have Florida, we have Newark, New Jersey, and then of course there's us. And then there are 2 counties in Florida who also operated, and they're all National Urban League affiliates.
And in Michigan, you operate in Wayne, Oakland, and Macomb counties.
Well, we actually no longer operate in Macomb County.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. We only operate right now in Wayne and Oakland County.
Okay.
So just as Ms. Cheeks described earlier, anyone who comes to our program, we refer to them as participants as well. They must be residents of Wayne or Oakland County. And so if they were to come to us and be residents of Macomb County, we generally refer them to our friends over there at AARP.
Okay. Great news. Great news. Are you doing anything with entrepreneurship? Do you have people coming to you saying they want to start businesses?
Actually, we don't get a lot of that. Unfortunately, we do not. And just this conversation alone, to me, just really brings up a lot of thought about how that can be approached differently, how perhaps it may just be a matter of maybe people not really knowing how to get going in that direction, not really knowing if it's even something they should bring up to us. So I'm enjoying this conversation, and I'm glad that I am a part of it, because that would be something that we definitely wouldn't want to miss out on.
Yeah, well, we want to have the Urban League a part of this conversation. The Urban League is a national partner with AARP in the job space. And locally here in metropolitan Detroit, the Urban League has been around providing job opportunities as long as I can remember. I can remember being in college and coming down to the Urban League and looking through the job opportunities that you shared with the community. So I know you guys have been in this game for a long time, and you do it very, very well. We appreciate you. We appreciate having you in the community.
Thank you.
Well, we are going to ask our audience now to ask us questions. Please post any questions or comments. If this information is good for you, please let us know. Post it in the comment section, and we will address any questions. We're going to bring the panel up, and we're going to have a discussion. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Simmons. Welcome back. I enjoyed the conversation with everybody. I'm sure our audience has enjoyed this conversation too. We are going to address a few questions. First of all, we've established that you all operate in Michigan. If you get a referral from somebody, a participant in Michigan that's not from your community, you will direct them someplace else. And when we close out, before we close out, we're going to have everybody's contact information. So anybody in the audience can be able to get contact information. So we've established the regions that you serve. And have you seen a difference in the interests of job seekers or entrepreneurs during the pandemic? Is it a different population of people? Is it the same population of people thinking differently? Bottom line, has the pandemic changed how you do business and the population that you get in your door or virtually?
Well, I would say that it definitely has changed how we do business. The pandemic has. It for us so far has not moved in the direction of entrepreneurship necessarily, but it definitely has had us look at how we provide services to our participants. We right now are doing both in-person training with the partner sites that were mentioned earlier, those agencies that are in operation, that are actually open and operating on a regular basis. And then we, in addition to that, have what we call distance learning, which is remote or virtual learning that the participants are participating in. So that for us was definitely brand new. A whole new world for us, something that was never actually even entertained as part of our training process, never before, to my knowledge. And I've been doing or had some role with the program since 2006. We've never done that before. So it was really a task for us to try and figure out how all of that would work, and we could still provide services, good quality services to the participants.
Can somebody answer how you got your participants to adapt? What did you have to do to get your participants to adapt to virtual? Did you find a way to get some training in?
Yeah, I'd like to say something, and then Elvira can probably fill in that. We've managed to also do the remote training. And for many, many months, our participants all across the country were calling in or using their laptops or iPads to connect with multiple training sessions each day, and on a variety of topics. For a long time, project directors like Elvira and I were doing those trainings, which was a whole new ballgame for some of us to be putting together a 1-hour presentation and doing it. So for a lot of people, it just really increased our use of technology and our ability to feel comfortable doing that. And participants, there were some that were very resistant to that, but overall, they've come around like champs. They've managed to figure out how to do all kinds of new skills on their phones and computers, and we're getting people connected to the world as it is today. And so it's been a learning experience and just part of the process of giving people new skills.
Okay, great. It has been a transition for all of us, and we've all had to adapt. Dr. McDougall?
I was just going to say, I think that it really has highlighted the digital divide, though. It has shown us really how we at a disadvantage people are who aren't able to use a computer or their technological skills.
Exactly.
And that because so many older adults just weren't used to doing that, there's more of them, I think, that are feeling kind of isolated by it. And so we've done a lot like you have about teaching people how to use Zoom and teaching people how to get an email and use their email better. And to try to do that without seeing them face to face has been a challenge. And so, I think we're all challenged by it. And it's made us, it's why we're starting a digital literacy center, in that we really see that if we need to bring people's computer skills and their technical skills up to a little bit further ahead so that they can stay competitive as they go forward, especially those people that you've identified that are resistant. But the job market is changed forever, I think, in that virtual jobs will be an option for people. And when you think about it, that's a great thing for older adults because, getting out on a cold day in the Michigan weather isn't always easy. So if there's more jobs available that people can do from home and we get people the skills that they need and the resources they need to be able to work from home, that's going to open up a lot of opportunities for us. And I'm sure that for CSEP sites as well, that'll be something maybe that they'll be able to do more of that virtually. So I think that the workforce is never going to return to the way it was before, I don't think.
I agree. My philosophy about technology is technology does not go backwards. It goes forward. So you have to get on the train. It's going forward. We have a question from Constance, who runs a small business in Detroit for the past 9 years. But 2 years ago, she took a full-time job to have consistent revenue stream. She wants to know if anyone has any advice on how to transition away from the full-time job and back to her business, which is what she would prefer.
Maybe the first place would be to start talking to her employer about what kind of opportunities would she have if she went on part-time where she is, assuming she's still going to need some kind of paycheck on a regular basis. At least she'd know where she stands there.
I think that's a good idea because it helps to make the transition, because you're trying to grow your business, Constance. Earlier we posted a slide. If you go to the AARP webpage and look up the Entrepreneur Partnership, that program is helping people to learn how to manage and grow their business. So that might be a good resource for you. To be able to tap into some experts that can help you with that question and help you get on track for managing and growing your business. I'm glad you asked your question because you've been in business for a while, and people that have been in business for a while also need support. So we appreciate your question. But that website is there for that information too. So please use AARP as a resource. And if you didn't write down the address, just go to aarp.org, and in the search box, you want to type in entrepreneurship or entrepreneur partnership. Any word in the search engine will get you to the place that you want to go at aarp.org. We have another question, which I think is a great question from Joanne. What are seniors with moderate income levels that would like a part-time job or training to do? Because most of you spoke of serving a population that was not moderate income. So what does that person do?
Well, right now, Detroit at Work has a nice program for seniors who are trying to get back into the workforce, and they help them with the resumes. They have jobs that they can work remotely from, and there's no income guidelines.
And our program does not have income guidelines either at Operation Able. It can be, any income, and it doesn't matter about full-time or part-time either. Either option is fine.
That's great. So Joanne, shortly you will see a slide with Operation Able contact information, and you can reach out to Dr. McDougall.
I'd like. I'm sorry, excuse me. I just wanted to add for someone to give our office a call, because we don't count all income that individuals have. So don't disqualify yourself yet from a program until you call to make sure, because there are certain criteria that we use to determine what someone's income level is for the program. And you might find out that you are eligible.
Oh, that's real good news.
Yeah.
I have a question about the CSEP program. What about people who are on disability? Are they eligible?
Yes.
Yes, definitely.
Great. Well, what about veterans? Do you do any special outreach for veterans?
Yes. Veterans are definitely part of our outreach. They are actually a group of individuals that we will recruit for if we're not getting, that response and that number that we're looking for. We're looking for them. And so we will, reach out to those organizations that do provide services to veterans so that we can partner with them. And, I see Miss Hewlett and Miss Cheeks shaking their head. So I know we're all doing the same thing. We're taking care of our vets.
Great. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Well, talk to me about who does your training. Do you have thought leaders, experts, former program participants? Who's doing your training, your counseling?
That would probably be all of us.
Yes.
Great. And since you love your jobs, that's just wonderful.
I have to say, as a tribute kind of to older workers, I guess, our staff, we have 4 people on staff, and all 4 were clients before they were employees, whether that's counselors or financial coaches or trainers. Our trainer came to us to get computer training, the primary computer training person we have, about 20 years ago. And she took a 12-week training program for us, and she was the star of the class. So afterwards, we kind of eased her into the instructional role, and she's been doing it ever since. And now she does it virtually for us. So she zooms into our classroom, and we say about her that she has a wonderful knowledge of computers, but most of all, she has the patience of Job, and doesn't mind how many times she has to explain the same thing, and seems to enjoy every minute of it and customizes it. So the value that older workers bring to the marketplace is something that most older workers don't recognize. They don't recognize how much they have to give. And so I think all of us here today, what we want to do is make sure that any of you that are watching this, that are wondering whether you might be just past the point where you should go back to work, think again, because you've got something that the community needs and that employers need.
Okay. Well, you raised a very good point about the skill sets that older workers have that they might not even recognize are valuable skills. Can each of you maybe pull something out and share? Like I would say, you said patience is one thing. I would also like to say probably organization skills, because you've raised a family, you've run a household, you've probably worked other places, you've seen lots of models of how to do things, how to run an operation. So that would be my thought, is that those organization skills, you see things through a different lens because you have lots of experience. Any other comments?
Yeah, I think that a lot of people bring really good work ethic skills. They know that once they've committed to something, that they need to set the alarm, they get up, they get ready to go to their assignment, they show up, they remember to call off, and just want to have a sense of pride in what they're doing.
And that's what an employer is looking for.
Correct.
Yes.
I mean, and then there are some who are working on those skills, so, but there are people who bring those to their host agency assignments with us and then on to an employer situation. And I think that's important. We have participants from our program who, kind of like what Mary was saying, they've been hired by the agencies where they were training. And I have participants who have been hired who are now supervising participants on the program now. So they've become supervisors in the agencies that provided them an opportunity to be employed, which is really kind of cool.
Wow.
Yes. I just wanted to add, I actually have 3 permanent staff members that are former participants, a payroll clerk and 2 counselors. So what she said, is very true. And I think it kind of goes across the board in the CSAP community. It's something that, we try to do is reach out and pull them back in and work with them and hire them if possible.
And for me, I have a former participant who is 83 years old, who was hired by her host agency, and she is administrative assistant. And actually is one of our host agencies, and she supervised it's two of our participants that's trained there, plus help with the administrative duties at that agency. So I'm saying age is not a number.
No.
Right. I think too, problem-solving skills are another thing that our participants, our members bring to the workplace, because they have seen things happen before, so they know that there's other ways of doing things, and that they can't let, well, this isn't working, stop progress. They've got to figure out how to make it work. And part of that comes from previous work experience, but part of it comes from life experience too. And that's certainly something that all of us have seen that our participants and members bring.
That is wonderful. One person, Janine, wants to know about building her resume. Would she include her nonprofit experience in the resume? Any answers? If she works via the senior program, that would be for Ms. Cheeks or Ms. Hewlett. If she does that temporary work placement.
Absolutely. We want them to put that on there. Many people come to us and they've been out of the workforce for a while. And so putting an assignment or listing their host agency as experience puts a current listing on their resume. And sometimes that's key for people to getting job interviews, is to be doing something that's current. Mm-hmm. And it's important to have that in there. And it shows other skills that they have from maybe businesses and other experiences that they've had.
Mm-hmm. Volunteerism is another opportunity to put in your resume. If you volunteer for your community group, the youth group, or faith-based organization, those skills are valuable. So please post your volunteer experience, because some of you may have been doing a particular volunteer experience for the last 25 years,
right,
or more. So that is very valuable. The
that includes your work in your church too, because a lot of people work at their church and they don't even see that as volunteer work. They just sort of see that as something they do. But right. if you're running the office in your church, or you're running a child training program on the Bible, that doesn't mean you've learned how to deal with kids in groups, and all those kinds of things are valuable for your resume.
That's true. That's true. The Urban League also has a career development department. Ms. Simmons, can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure, absolutely. We have a workforce career development center at the Urban League. We've actually had it for quite some time. It's very similar to our state-ran Michigan Works or Detroit Employment Solutions offices, in that the goal is just to allow, assist, and provide possible work solutions for individuals who are unemployed. So I didn't want to belabor the point, but a little earlier when we were talking about when individuals don't qualify for our program, they don't meet our eligibility requirements. There are no age requirements, no eligibility requirements for workforce. So we always start with our own program first. We will refer a person directly to workforce, and then we'll also give them, Michigan Works and some other offices where they can try and look for assistance with employment.
Okay. Well, we are going to close out shortly. We'd like to know if you have any last words, any words of wisdom, any encouragement that'll make people just get up and get ready for 2022.
I'll go ahead and go first. And I think my words of encouragement would just be to not close your mind to the possibilities of anything. With all of the changes and all of the things that are going on now in the world of work, as far as how different things are becoming, I would say, keep an open mind. Don't close that door of your mind on how you can move forward with online jobs. I just heard somebody talking about a program, or I'm not even really sure what it is. You might want to check it out, but it's called Fiverr, if you all have heard of that before. And they were just talking about how it's a marketplace where people can be creative, and then individuals will buy what those people are creating. So there's, to me, endless possibilities.
Yes. We think that if you Google it, you'll probably find it. If not that, you'll find something else. Before we wrap up with the others, I want to drop in this poll question. I want to drop in a question to the audience. We want to know if you are interested in becoming an entrepreneur or seeking a job. And you can answer that in Facebook. Please respond to the poll question on Facebook. Is it entrepreneur for you, or is it job opportunity for you? And we'll give you the results of what our audience has said. Hopefully this conversation has inspired you to move in one direction or the other. So, Dr. McDougall, any inspiring words for our audience?
Just sort of listen to your heart about what it is you want to do in 22. And promise yourself that you'll take at least a few steps in that direction, and then maybe leap into it as the year goes on.
Oh, that sounds like a tagline. Listen to your heart for what you want to do in 2022. I like that. Ms. Hewlett, what do you have for us?
Well, I feel the same way. I think we need to encourage people to take a step forward and look into something that they've been sitting on for a while, and whether it's their own opportunity to just get back into the workforce or to try becoming their own business owner. We've had the success of a number of our people who have gone on from SCSEP to be their own business owners, and they're doing very, very well. A good thing for them. And also to encourage nonprofit organizations that are currently listening. If there's someone who knows an agency that could use an extra pair of hands, our offices are always looking for new host agencies to offer new opportunities for our participants. So the idea is it's a community service. Just take advantage of us. We're out here.
Ms. Cheeks.
Mine is, don't wait for life to happen, make it happen.
All right, that's a good one. That's a good one. And mine is, let's disrupt aging. Be the person that you see in the TV commercial. Just do your thing, whatever it is. Turn a hobby into a business, work part-time. Just get out and enjoy life and do what works for you. That is the value of the place that you are in at this point in your life. You have choices and you can make them. And as I think Dr. McDougall said earlier, it's not permanent. If it doesn't work, you can move on to something else. Try it. Step out there and try it. Build those skills. So we are going to give you the contact information for each one of these organizations. They're going to show up on the screen one at a time. So please have your documentation ready to be able to write this down, or take a picture with your cell phone of the contact information. That is just an easy way to capture information. Just put your cell phone right up to the screen and take a picture. This is the Urban Leagues program that Ms. Simmons shared so much delightful information about. Very helpful. They have other programs too. So give her a call, drop her an email, and see what she has that may be of interest to you. Thank you, Ms. Simmons. Operation Able, Dr. Mary McDougall. Dr. McDougall has just been a wealth of information for us for the last couple of years. She's located in the city of Detroit. And as a reminder, her program is national for the Center for Working Families, and Operation Able is also viable in different places across the state of Michigan. Take a picture if you don't write it down. Next, we have the AARP Foundation Senior Community Service Employment Program contacts. Ms. Cheeks and Ms. Hewlett, thank you very much. The information that you provided is just wonderful. I loved what you just said, Ms. Hewlett, to nonprofits out there. If you need some assistance and some staffing, reach out to you because you have people and it provides an opportunity for them to gain skills. Do those nonprofits have to pay those salaries? No, they're shaking their heads. So nonprofit leaders, reach out. Thank you very much, ladies. We have really enjoyed the programming today. We appreciate our audience that shows up for our virtual programs. To learn more about our virtual programs at AARP Michigan, you can go to our website to get information, aarp.org/MI. Our events are posted monthly. We have a wide range of events from education to entertainment to advocacy. Please look at your mailers. If you are a member, you get an email from us, or you may get a mail copy of our events, but all is posted on our website at aarp.org/MI. We appreciate you. Thank you very much.